Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
My anus is bleeding!
He can't sit down.
They call them dumps, big massive dumps.
Got a flame coming out of his butthole.
Beta male.
Get in a long tube with a bunch of demons.
Don't you ever do that. Don't you ever do that. I tell you don't do it.
Oops.
We're under attack. It is an alien force, not of this world. It's not human intelligence.
Bullshit.
Trust me, I'm like a smart person.
Bullshit.
It's not a salami sandwich.
Disappointed!
Repeat the line.
Disappointed!
How you like that, boy?
No.
Give me a break.
Stop it.
Fired.
Fired! Fired!
Bitch, move it along.
Now witness the firepower of this fully armed and operational battle station.
I'm sick of all these witches and warlocks.
You idiot.
The nation, Waldorf Nation. What's up, everybody? It's Wednesday. Welcome to the show. All right, we got a fun one for you today, including Republican drama. Yes, we have the McCarthy saga continues. Fun, including Republican reaction in how even they're admitting what a disaster. Fun. We also have a little bit of a mystery of what AOC had told Representative Gates and Gozar. There's a little bit of a, there's some questions, I should say. There were questions, many questions about what they were discussing. Well, now I've got the details of that. We also have, yes, witchcraft. We have a Republican, yes, unsurprisingly, in Florida, that has been accused of witchcraft. I kid you not. We've got the story. It's full of twists and turns. It's hilarious and sad. And so we're going to talk about that. We got Trump backing McCarthy. That's an interesting story. And the pushback, even more interesting. And then, finally, we also have a disastrous story. There was a woman in Alabama that had died of pneumonia in jail. The details of that are horrifying, and it really does show you not only the state of our carceral system, but also why private healthcare providers in jails not a good idea. And again, it also shows you how little we care about people who are incarcerated, even over very, very minor stuff. So I mean, that is just one of the most disastrous healthcare / criminal justice / human rights stories that you could just imagine. So we're going to get into that later on in the show. All right. But with that said, let's have some fun first. And we're going to go with the Republican shit show. If you haven't already, please like and share the stream. With that, let's get into it. Nothing like a little begging. Okay. So, on Wednesday morning, former President Donald Trump waded into the Republican speakership drama. And, of course, when it comes to unhinged takes, Donald Trump never disappoints. In fact, on his platform...
Truth, essential.
Trump urged Republican hardliners to just give it up. Just give it up and just back my boy, Kevin McCarthy. In fact, here's what he posted. Some really good conversations took place last night, and now it's time for our great Republican House members to vote for Kevin. Vote for Kevin. Close the deal. Take the victory. And watch crazy Nancy Pelosi fly back home to a very broken California. The only speaker in U.S. history to have lost the House twice. You know, just because she's not House doesn't so serving. She didn't lose her election. He just isn't speaker anymore. He doesn't know how it works. Okay, anyway. He also adds, Republicans do not turn a great triumph into a giant embarrassing defeat. It's time to celebrate. That's right. That's right. He tells you it is absolutely time to celebrate. Celebrate what? Okay, look, yes, they have a small, narrow advantage in the House, but not enough to apparently elect the speaker. But okay, all right. And then said, you deserve it. Kevin McCarthy will do a good job and maybe even a great job. Just watch. maybe even a great job. You don't know. It'll be at least a good job. Very, very passable, possibly adequate. Or who knows? Who knows? As of my count right now, and it could be higher, Kevin McCarthy has lost 5 rounds of voting. 5. And possibly 6. Who knows? By the time this video goes up, it could be 7. This is the first time a speaker has not been elected on the first ballot since 1923. I don't even know what the record is on 5 or 6. And so, yes, it is embarrassing because what you have here is an obviously fractured party. And even more embarrassing because it's the people who, the people who tanked McCarthy are pretty much only doing it to get stuff for themselves. Committee assignments, special goodies, things like that. Okay, and are we surprised that Republicans are trying to grab as much power as they can? Individual Republicans, and now they're fighting each other for that power? Yes. It's not a surprise at all, actually. No, it's not a surprise. Yes, it's absolutely expected of them. And look, it's not so much about policy, in my view. They're already pretty extreme. Kevin McCarthy's already promised 2 years of nonstop investigations over Hunter Biden's taint. So, I mean, honestly, what did we expect from Republicans? Just nonstop madness. Now, that said, these Republicans that are trying to get these committee assignments, you know what it's all about. Me. It's about me. It's about me. It's about me. Which ironically is incredibly on brand for Republicans, including Donald Trump, who was like, hey, stop making it about you, okay, and start making it about me. And he does that in the next part because he's not done. He then inserts a grievance against Mitch McConnell. He says, if Republicans are going to fight, we ought to be fighting Mitch McConnell and his domineering, China-loving wife. Okay, here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to defend Mitch McConnell. But I am going to say what Mitch McConnell is doing right now is out there with Joe Biden talking about how they got an infrastructure deal passed. I mean, for the average person, making a juxtaposition on these 2 different events. Oh, look, here's Mitch McConnell acting like a somewhat adult versus whatever the hell is going on in the House, where you have Lauren Boebert versus Marjorie Greene, Matt Gaetz versus, I don't know, everybody, essentially. Yeah, I mean, it really shows you that when it comes to the House and Republicans, there's no adults in the room. None. Now, he also adds this. The harm they could have done to the Republican Party, the harm they have done to the Republican Party is incalculable. Today, he couldn't be elected dog catcher in Kentucky. Sadly, he only won because of my endorsement. Went up 21 points. Sorry. Take the victory and run. What does Mitch McConnell have to do with the House anyway? This is about House drama. Mitch McConnell is the Senate minority leader. And by the way, Mitch McConnell, yeah, you can point to him being super unpopular in the polls, but yet he keeps getting elected anyway. So maybe it's because, I don't know, the voters in Kentucky just keep reelecting him because he's got, just is able to blanket the airwaves with ads. The Democrats can't seem to run a halfway decent challenger. I mean, I think the last person was, no, it wasn't the last one. But basically, they ran all Republican light. That's it. And it's funny because I don't remember the last person that ran against Mitch McConnell because she was a nobody. No excitement whatsoever and was Republican light. The last one I remember was Allison Lundergan Grimes, who was like, oh, I like Cole more than Mitch McConnell does. And she's a Democrat. I don't know how many years ago that was, though. 2014-ish. And so, yeah, I don't remember the last person to run against McConnell, but it doesn't even matter in this case, okay? Mitch McConnell keeps getting elected because he's got tons of money. So now here's the thing. I absolutely love how Republicans are fighting each other. They're just ripping each other's faces off. And I think that's really the only thing the only really good thing that you can take from the Trump era is the fact that Trump has thrown out all the conventions. Like all the rules, like, oh, you don't attack Republicans. Republicans don't attack Republicans. Oh, really? Well, now you're ripping each other's faces off. And that's partly thanks to Donald Trump. He said, no, I'm going to attack Republicans. I'm going to call them rhinos. I'm going to run against them, or I'm going to spend money against them. I'm going to do all that stuff. See how you like it. Hey, I love it just fine. Republican and Republican crime is the best crime, the greatest crime. The discord and the disunity the Republican Party is showing right now is incredibly entertaining. Very entertaining. So now that said, Donald Trump comes in, and I don't understand why, because for a while he was sitting on the fence. He wasn't saying anything, wasn't really doing anything. He was just sitting there watching, and I don't know, maybe some of his, does he even have any handlers left? I don't know, maybe somebody called him up, was like, do something, Donald Trump, do something, come out and say something. I don't know. Or maybe he just, felt like jumping in. Either way, he's in now. And he says, McCarthy. Now, how does Matt Gaetz feel about this? Or any of the members of the Never Kevins? Which is funny. Well, Gaetz recently spoke to Fox News. And he said that he has still no intention of falling in line behind Kevin McCarthy. Oops. Gaetz also told the New York Post, oh, sorry, no. Before we get to the New York Post quote, where he just says he's holding firm. The Never Kevin contingent holds firm. But he actually poked fun at Donald Trump, saying in response to Trump's statement, quote, sad. This changes neither my view of McCarthy, nor Trump, nor my vote. Republican to Republican crime. That's crime. Greatest crime. Let them fight. Let them fight. Look, I hope House Republicans never decide on a speaker. I don't care. Let the next 2 years be nothing but Republicans ripping each other apart. You know why? Because I would rather have that than a unified Republican Party doing horrible things. And it's not like they don't have horrible things planned for the American people. that they'll try to ram through. Look, their agenda is hot garbage. We know this. And secondly, by the way, this could be advantageous for the Democrats. I mean, they could, I don't know why they're not doing this right now. They could take all of this dysfunction and create a bunch of ads and release them. It doesn't have to be near election time, but they can run ads. They can do it now. They do it several months down the line. I just keep reminding the American people how much of a shit show Republican leadership actually is. The chaos. And the fact that these people have no idea how to govern. They can't even choose a leader. And they absolutely have no desire to govern. You know, if the Democrats did that, maybe they'd be more successful. Win some more elections and actually maybe take back the House next time. But, you know, they would have to do so. But as far as Republicans go, they are a disaster. It's a clown show. And the more they fight amongst themselves, ironically, the more America wins. By at least having their horrible agenda stopped as much as possible. So, I guess at the end of the day, let them fight. Let them fight. The reason no one wants McCarthy is because he stands for nothing. Is there a Republican out there that stands for anything except for themselves? I mean, honestly? Okay. Anyway. No. Yeah, I know, exactly. Exactly. Okay. Anyway. Let's move on. Let's get to the response here from Fox News. Fox News host Sean Hannity was less than impressed with House Republicans not being able to choose a speaker. In fact, on Tuesday night's program, he warned that Republicans were in danger of becoming a clown show. Well, let me tell you, they're not in danger of becoming a clown show. They are, but nonetheless, here's the video.
Congress and House Republicans now are on the verge of becoming a total clown show if they're not careful. But despite the cheering and the elation from Democrats and the mob and the media, it's not a dire situation yet. Now, here's where we are. At this hour, a contentious battle for Speaker is underway. After falling short of the 218 votes needed, leader Kevin McCarthy is now in the political fight of his career as a small but seemingly determined group of lawmakers now stand in the way. Many of them are pushing for Congressman Jim Jordan to be the next Speaker of the House, but Jim Jordan is already supporting Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, oh, no, we're just going to vote for Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan's like, no, I don't want it. I don't want it. Keep it away from me. Okay, I really don't want any more attention than I already have, you know, for that whole covering up sex crimes at OSU thing. You know? Yeah. And so that was on Tuesday. That was after the first couple rounds of voting. It's Wednesday. McCarthy has lost his fifth, probably his sixth round by now. They're not on the verge of a clown show. They are a clown show, and they've been a clown show for a very long time. Okay? And so, all right. Now, Hannity, of course, went on to say that they should confirm McCarthy because he'll do all these weirdo investigations of Joe Biden and Hunter Biden's butt crack, something like that. All right. So they've got this entire agenda laid out of doing, nonstop investigations. I'm sure they'll throw a Benghazi in there at some point while they try to, vote, do these show votes like, I don't know, getting rid of Social Security and Medicare, things like that. That's their agenda. But here's the thing. The reason that these Republicans are not doing this, they're not confirming McCarthy, generally is because they want more for themselves. They want the special committee assignments. They want that stuff. Oh, and by the way, they want somebody who's even more extreme when it comes to going after Democrats, which, again, Kevin McCarthy's already got this all of these sham investigations. I'm sure, though, that they want Biden impeached for some reason. Okay. Sure. Okay. Now, that said, Sean Hannity is not alone in his criticism. In fact, I've got some other Fox hosts lined up. Take a look.
It was a disaster for the Republicans. Just a simple disaster. So let's start with the disaster.
Okay. One last real
I'm
fast.
hopeful, Stuart. I'm hopeful. We have to come together.
Yeah, because if you don't, I mean, it's utter chaos, and the Republican Party has been shamed.
Do the 202 win, or do the 20 win? And in a free society, you cannot, just as you can't give in to terrorists and you can't give in to hostage takers, you can't allow them to take the conference hostage and win.
We go from, oh, what a disaster, to we can't negotiate with terrorists. I love it. And right in the middle is Ronna McDaniel being like, I'm hopeful. I'm really hopeful. Stuart, stop it. Please stop. Please stop now. And by the way, she stuck that entire interview. She stuck right to her talking points of, I'm going to pivot over to the Democrats because everything is really, really bad. Look at the Democrats are bad. Stuart Varney's like, no, this is insane. This is a complete and utter disaster. What are you doing? Oh, I love it. I love it. It's so good. Let them fight. Let them fight. Rip each other apart. I will be here with the popcorn. We all will be. But, I think it's really funny, though, looking at the battle lines. There are some interesting battle lines here. Marjorie Taylor Greene is on the side of Kevin McCarthy. Donald Trump is on the side of Kevin McCarthy, along with most of the Republicans. I mean, you have the Republican establishment that is backing Kevin McCarthy, and yet you've got Marjorie Greene, who claims to be going after the rhinos. Well, we know it's because Kevin McCarthy promised Marjorie Greene her committee assignments back. That's it. I mean, he's dangled that in front of her like you would like a cat with your set of keys. Here you go, play with this. It's dangly and shiny. But then, on the other side, of course, you've got Lauren Boebert. You have Matt Gaetz. You have Scott Peters, Andy Biggs, Paul Gosar, Chip Roy. A lot of the ones who didn't, vote to certify the 2020 election. They're on the other side of Donald Trump, who came out very strong for McCarthy. Let's take the win. Support McCarthy. Look, as I said before, when it comes down to it, it's about these people trying to grab power for themselves. Of course. Of course. Now, that said, regardless of what Republican becomes a speaker, and eventually they're going to have to do something, that speaker is still going to be launching BS political investigations. Because what else are they going to do? They're going to introduce dumb legislation and then do sham investigations because they don't have power outside of the House of Representatives. They have the Senate and they have the White House, or they don't have the Senate or the White House. The Democrats have it. But like I keep saying before, when Republicans fight each other and rip each other's faces off, well, that's just that's good for the rest of us. So, sit back and let them fight. Let them fight. The Democrats are waiting at the table. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Never covers. There you go. That's a good one. While the drama was unfolding in the House of Representatives, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was having a chat with Republicans Matt Gaetz and Paul Gosar. So, well, that's interesting. Midas Touch posted this exchange asking, can anyone read lips? You see, she's talking about something, and we can hear it. There's no audio. Okay. So that was Gaetz she was talking to, obviously. Gaetz and Gosar both belong to the group of Never Kevins, who've successfully blocked Kevin McCarthy from the House speakership at least 5, maybe 6 times. Okay. So now, after this video came out, there were a lot of people that were very curious as to what they were talking about. I mean, these are not people that generally are on good terms that are going to talk to each other. I'm not sure if it was Gosar or Gaetz that had once tweeted out an anime video of, let's just say, bad things happening to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. So, anyway, everyone was curious. What were they talking about? What were they talking about? What's the hot goss? As the kids say. Wait, did the kids actually say hot goss? But anyway, people were wondering. There were many, many questions, and AOC has answered those questions in an interview with The Intercept. In fact, according to Ryan Grimm, Gaetz told Ocasio-Cortez that McCarthy had been telling Republicans that he'll be able to cut a deal with the Democrats in order to ensure McCarthy becomes speaker. So Democrats would have to vote present, enabling him to win the majority of those present and voting. So this just gets into the weirdo, House rules. Now, she responded, apparently by saying, nope, that's not happening. McCarthy was suggesting that he could get Dems to walk away to lower his threshold, she said. And I fact-checked and said, absolutely not. Well, I mean, there it is. So she went and checked with Democratic leadership, and they're like, yeah, we don't have any plans to do that. We don't have any plans to cut a deal with Republicans. That said, now I'm seeing that might be on the table. AOC herself has said, well, we could do a compromise candidate, but I don't know what that would look like. And fun fact, the last time that there was a compromise candidate, it ended up being a literal pedophile. Yes, Dennis Hastert was a compromise House Speaker. Well done, nailed it. Gee, I wonder what pedophile they're going to put there. The Republicans are going to put up. Because, by the way, I was a Republican. So, anyway. Now, Democrats did do something fun. They decided to troll the GOP by voting for Hakeem Jeffries in what Ryan Grimm of The Intercept described as a show of unity that, if it holds, required McCarthy to win over all but 4 of his colleagues. So he's currently being opposed by somewhere 19 to 20 Republicans. Clown show. Total clown show. Now, in a heated meeting on Tuesday, McCarthy claimed that Gaetz and his allies had requested committee assignments in exchange for supporting his speakership bid. McCarthy also accused Gaetz of telling Republican members that he was willing to elect Hakeem Jeffries as speaker rather than accede to McCarthy. So, basically, if they're saying we would rather have a Democrat become the Speaker of the House than Kevin McCarthy, it's gotten serious. And again, I mean, yes, these are threats, but I don't know, maybe you should take them seriously, at least a little bit seriously. Because once again, these are Republicans, and Republicans fight dirty, and they fight viciously. Gaetz also told reporters that he and his allies do not trust Kevin McCarthy. Paul Gosar, another McCarthy opponent, also spoke to AOC in the chamber, where they had discussed the possibility of adjourning the House. So now AOC, she was non-committal about the adjournment strategy because she would have to consult with party leadership. Only they could make that decision. So, all right. So, look, she followed up with an MSNBC appearance several hours later, emphasizing the unprecedented nature of the situation, saying this, quote, "It's about the cards that are in McCarthy's hands. And if he chooses to approach the Democratic caucus, then that would be a negotiation in and of itself for a potential coalition government." So, yeah, what that could mean is, look, Democrats have leverage. Now, that's not where Republicans want to be. And obviously, it for me, leverage seems like something that the Democrats can get pretty easily, but never know what to do with. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, if you have the leverage, you should probably use it. If you're actually going to get something of value from this, then yes, you should take that leverage, you should use it, and you should push for as much as you can of your priorities. Do the Democrats generally do it? No. But I would like to see that happen. I guess would have to see. But at the very least, that potential could have them not try to push some of the worst legislation imaginable. Because after all, that's what Kevin McCarthy promises. And it's what a lot of these Republicans, especially the ones who are against McCarthy, want to do. They want to do the worst things for the American people. So, yeah. Now, that said, Democrats could also use this entire situation to run ads against Republicans, reminding them how much of a disaster the Republican Party is when it comes to governing. And you could run those ads all the way up to 2024. Like, look at these guys. These can't govern. They can't even decide on who they want to be a leader, right? They can't. You know, the thing, I mean, there's this thing in politics that drives me crazy. And it's the whole unity thing. But understand that actually plays well with a lot of the electorate. So while it drives me crazy, a lot of other people who are, you know, normies who aren't as much into politics, they look at the whole idea of unity as like, oh, yeah, well, the party, obviously, they need unity, right? I mean, we need to have a unified Democratic Party and a unified Republican Party. We need to have a unified government, and we need to do all this unity stuff. Again, drives me crazy. But Democrats could, again, use the fact that it is popular with large sections of the electorate, the whole idea of unity, and use it against Republicans and say they can't even unify their party. So that's another idea. That said, even if it doesn't happen and they eventually come around, the Republicans still, at the end of the day, look very weak, fractured, and held hostage by a very, very small group of insane lawmakers. And that's fun. Again, let them fight. Let them fight. Chickens come home to roost. They do appear to be roosting. And I'm just enjoying, as we all should. All right. Move on to the next story. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy this one. As if it could get weirder, but trust me, it does. All right.
I'm not a witch. I'm nothing you've heard.
Now, you may remember that ad from many, many, many years ago. That was Republican candidate Christine O'Donnell saying, "I'm not a witch." Well, at that time, no one was accusing her of witchcraft or of being a witch, so it was a big anomaly having her come out and say, "I'm not a witch." Well, now fast forward to 2023, and we have a Republican, another one, that is claiming that she is not a witch, but has actually been accused of witchcraft. Oh, wow. Okay. So, in a letter obtained by the Daily Beast, reveals that newly elected Florida Republican Anna Paulina Luna has taken legal action against a former would-be rival Republican named Matt Tito. Apparently, Matt Tito had claimed that she was a witch. She put spells on people, man. Now, Matt Tito, is a friend of Roger Stone. And so there's apparently a pretty interesting long history between all these people that gets hilarious. But now, Roger Stone, again, is a friend of Matt Tito. Matt Tito considered challenging Luna in a Republican primary in Florida. And he was on Bubba the Love Sponge's program. Ah, yes, of course. And according to Tito, when he was on that show, he had said that he heard Luna practices witchcraft. Quote, she puts spells on people. Really? Spells? What? She turned me into a newt. A newt? Well, I got better. No, this is ridiculous. Insanity. How are these people even in power? How are they even important? It's 2023, and you have Republicans that are accusing each other of witchcraft. Then again, friend of Roger Stone is like, did you know there's a demonic portal sitting above the Biden White House right now? Oh, yeah, you can see it. You can see it. Right there. It's not a smudge, I swear. Where the demons come out. Demons. Oh, wow. By the way, where did I put that?
It's the devil, okay?
Yeah, it's the devil, okay? The demons.
I'm sick of all these witches and warlocks.
That's what Tito's saying. He's sick of the witches. Sick of the witches. All right, lunatics. But there's more. Tito also claimed that Luna was fired from a job. Okay, who cares? But that that she had had a sexual liaison with Matt Gaetz. Oh, okay. Well, that gets a little interesting. All right.
Sexual anarchy.
Oh, okay. By the way, eye bleach. We should all invest in some. Just burn that image right out of our heads. Because, goddamn. All right. Now, the law firm Holland & Knight had been hired by Ms. Luna to represent her, and they sent a letter on October 7th to Mr. Tito. While it is extraordinarily odd for any person to say these things, some self-awareness there, let alone a former captain in the United States Marine Corps, that is not the purpose of this communication. Attorney David J. Lisko wrote, I am sending you this letter because of the defamatory statements you made about Ms. Luna on the show. Adding that Tito knew his comments were untrue or were said in gross negligence, knowing the statements were highly implausible and unlikely to be true. Yes, that's defamation. You said that Ms. Luna, a devout Christian, practices witchcraft. Witchcraft. Okay. Wow. You are hereby demanded to publicly and immediately retract each and every defamatory statement you made about Ms. Luna on the show. Because you do not have the ability to distribute your retraction widely on your social media. Okay, I love how that's a little bit of a dig. Like, you ain't got no followers, son. Sad. Pathetic. You're just gonna have to go back on Bubba the Love Sponge's show, or to make a retraction and apology video that you can send to Ms. Luna, and that she will distribute via her social media. Twisting that knife in real deep. Now, Daily Beast caught up to her, and they asked Luna to address the allegations, all this stuff. She said, obviously not, I'm not doing any comments. And then when asked about the witchcraft and about Matt Gaetz, she said, that's not true. And then later tweeted that the questions were tantamount to being sexually harassed. Wait, so asking a question about something that someone else has said to you, saying, "Look, is this true? I mean, did you have a consensual relationship or sexual encounter with Matt Gaetz?" That's sexual harassment. No, just say no, and that everything that they're saying is categorically false. That's your statement. No, that's sexual harassment. Okay, but it gets weirder. It gets even weirder. The Daily Beast then spoke to Tito and said he's not backing down from any of his claims about the former MAGA influencer who had once accused him of conspiring with another candidate to have her murdered during her campaign. I told you, Florida politics never disappoints in the weird. Now, he said this, quote, "I didn't wake up one morning when I was going on the Bubba the Love Sponge show and say I'm going to pull a bunch of stuff out of my ass and talk about it." Okay. He then also said that he has not responded to the legal letter, but that he had consulted with his own lawyer after he was served with the demand, and said that when he got the letter 3 weeks before the primary, he wondered, why is she trying to intimidate me and scare me? Oh, see, she's trying to intimidate me from running against her. That witch. Why doesn't she just put a spell on you? I go, okay. Again, you've lunatics fighting each other, and it's funny. He also claimed, by the way, that he had learned about Luna's alleged background of witchcraftery or witchcraft or whatever, witchery, whatever you want to call it, from other MAGA supporters. According to Tito, Hispanics for Trump associate Paloma Zuniga was the one who said that Luna was a witch. And then you add in another failed California Republican congressional hopeful, Omar Navarro, who suggested that, well, look, this must be true because people are saying them. People are saying this. It must be true. Quote, "It has got to be true to a certain extent. It's fair enough to say that it's spread among people in the Republican Party." But that doesn't mean that it's true. It doesn't mean it's true at all just because people are saying it. That doesn't make any sense. But again, we're talking about Florida politics here. We're talking about Florida Republicans. Now, as for the allegations that she had a sexual encounter with Matt Gaetz, look, I don't care. I honestly think that she's probably too old for Matt Gaetz. But, it is what it is. A spokesperson for Gaetz insisted to the Daily Beast that it did not happen, and it was part of lies being spread to Luna, leading the fight along 20 members of the House who know America deserves better than Kevin McCarthy. They have somehow drugged this entire thing into the House leadership fight. Thank you, Matt Gaetz, for just connecting all of these things that are not connected at all, and dredging up this weirdo conspiracy fight where one side says you're a witch and the other side says you hired Ukrainian and Russian hitmen to kill me. Just insanity. Insanity. The spokesperson for Gaetz added, quote, "These rumors have no basis in fact whatsoever." I don't believe anyone here because you're all insane. Really. Certifiable. Okay? I hear anything and it's bullshit. I don't know who to believe. So I believe no one. Wow. Look, everybody in this story they're out of their minds. They're absolutely out of their minds. Sure, maybe there's something going on here. I don't know what it is, but there's something obviously going on. Maybe
it's the devil, okay?
It could be the devil. Okay, it could be the devil. It could be the frogs turning gay. I don't know. We could
we're under attack.
We could be under attack by demons right now, by demons and witches. The witches and warlocks.
I'm sick of all these witches and warlocks.
I don't know. It's weird. Okay. But you got Roger Stone involved. You got like a dog bite. Like you got Laura Loomer that's involved with this. You got this, again, alleged Ukrainian and Russian hit squad. Apparently it's a Russian-Ukrainian hit squad. Strange. People getting kicked out of Turning Point USA. Oh, and by the way, Luna also got kicked off Fox News for comparing Hillary Clinton to herpes. So, I mean, and then witchcraft. Witchcraft. I'm telling you, this is this Florida politics is wild, man. I honestly do not understand how it got this crazy. Just wild. But it's also horrifying because when you look at it at the end of the day, Luna, she is now a United States Congresswoman. She was one of the few in the midterms who was endorsed by Donald Trump and actually won, despite being insane, because again, it's Florida. Now a member of Congress. Florida politics. Okay. So let's go to just the really disastrous story. Five years after an Alabama woman had died from pneumonia in a jail, a lawsuit filed by the family is getting their day in court. Now, the father of Autumn Harris sued the private medical company that provides healthcare in the Walker County Jail for malpractice. So he claims that the family claims that jail nurses never treated their daughter with pneumonia for the several weeks that she was held, despite her obvious condition. Harris was just 34 years old at the time, had died in the Walker County Jail on December 5th, 2018, after being incarcerated for 3 weeks for failing to appear at a hearing in a misdemeanor theft case. Now, she was suffering from pneumonia. And by the way, the case that she was actually supposed to go to court for involved another woman accusing her of stealing $40. $40. Michael Harris, Autumn's father, had filed a medical malpractice lawsuit, again alleging that she had received no treatment for her pneumonia from these healthcare workers inside the jail. According to AL.com, Harris was diagnosed with pneumonia on October 31st and was prescribed antibiotics. She was arrested 2 weeks later, and she gave jail officials her medication when she was booked. She said, look, I still have pneumonia. I'm on antibiotics. I need to have my medication. They did not give her her medication. Without access to it, her condition got worse over those 3 weeks. And so, I mean, why didn't they notice? Having pneumonia, fairly noticeable, especially when they had already told the jail and the healthcare workers. So now this is where privatization comes into play, right? The company, Preemptive Forensic Health Solutions, was tasked with providing health services for the jail. However, this company never documented giving her antibiotics until the final day. And they only did so after she was misdiagnosed with a UTI. Oh, it gets even more infuriating because she had told these nurses, I have trouble breathing. I need my medication. And like, go do yoga. Go for a walk. She's in jail and has pneumonia. Why are you telling her to go to walk? Why? Go for a walk? Go for what? Where am I going to walk to? Maybe I should walk to a real hospital. Oh, right. I'm in jail. I can't. And I'm being held for $40. Over $40. This is absolutely horrifying. And again, they have no records of treating her infection despite the obvious signs. In fact, according to witnesses, on December 1st, 2018, she reported shortness of breath and died 4 days later. Other inmates reported that she was unable to sit and stand and was losing control of her basic body functions, according to all witness testimony. Another person in the deposition said that the 34-year-old had begun to hallucinate and was calling her mama. All of that. We're like, oh, you must have a UTI. Took her medication. Her antibiotic that she needed for this. Again, this is absolutely insane. And again, the difficulty breathing, they treated her at one point with an anxiety protocol, saying, again, she should take walks and do yoga classes. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, after she died, the autopsy found that, of course, she died from pneumonia. Her lungs were just filled with fluid and infection and actually weighed about 4 times that than a healthy set of lungs. They were that filled. I mean, the criminal negligence shown by this company and this jail, by the way, that employed them is, I mean, it should be punishable. And yet, you know, this is a malpractice suit. This company should be absolutely, like, just sued into oblivion, which I'm hopeful that this man's case is successful in doing so. And that they don't just come back, or they don't just rebrand like we've seen defense contractors do and other companies that have faced, you know, certain issues. No, this company and these executives, especially, and the nurses, need to be jailed themselves. Again, maybe that might be, you know, too cruel and unusual to be left under their own care. Because it will, apparently it will kill you. Now, Harris's attorney, Justin Jones, said this. He's got some statements here. He said, pneumonia is one of the most common respiratory infections in the United States. Also, one of the most common reasons for hospitalization is a killer, and yet it's very treatable. You know, if you actually take the time to treat it. In this case, he says, there was systemic failure from the start to finish to apply well-established standard of healthcare to a patient. Those failures ultimately caused her death. And then added that the autopsy was a brutal picture of just how far the disease had progressed over time. Well, this tells you a lot about the prison system. And not just about prison healthcare companies, which I'm railing on, but also the carceral system in the United States does not see you as a human being. It doesn't see you as a person. It doesn't care about you at all, whether you live or die. Which is very, very obvious from all the different stories involving people not getting medical care when they're in prison, when you're in jail. They would rather let you die over $40 than treat you like a human being. And it's not just about money. It's not just about Again, how much the state is spending on these jails. No, it's actually more about the dehumanization aspect. You are a criminal, therefore your life is forfeit. That's it. Oh, you allegedly stole something that's worth $40? Lock him up. Lock her up. And if she's ill, we don't care. Let's let her die. It's $40. What are you going to do? You're going to prioritize her life, or you can prioritize the property? I mean, we see absolutely what our society prioritizes. And it is this, again, incredibly punitive, horrible approach to crime that we have in this country, in our culture. That is the sickness. The real sickness inside of our prison system is how prisoners are treated, and how people who have broken the law, how they're treated for doing so. Breaking the law does not immediately give anyone grounds to strip you of your humanity. You're still a person, and you still have rights, the right to survive, the right to live, and the right to get treatment for your illness. Just because you're a prisoner doesn't mean you lose the basic right to survive. It's insane that we live in a system like this. And this is a good example. And by the way, I know some of you might be like, okay, what color was she? Well, this woman just happened to be white. White, 34-year-old young woman. And yes, that is young. Now that's happening to people like her, but it's also been happening to black people far longer and in far more barbaric conditions. Now it's gotten to the point that, hey, $40. I mean, if you're someone who's poor or doesn't have a lot of money, it doesn't matter. We don't care about you at all. So now you have poor white people, you have poor black people, you have poor Hispanic people. Again, you have black people that actually get arrested and sentenced prison time far more often than white people. That said, once you're in there, once you're in that system, it's over for you. It doesn't matter anymore. Once you're branded a criminal, you are thrown away for the rest of your life. And if you were unlucky enough to have a pre-existing condition, or to even be, ill at that time, your life may be forfeit. And it's disgusting. And it needs to change. We need prison reform, and we need it. We've needed it yesterday. We've needed it decades ago. And until we get it, things like this are going to continue to happen. Okay. Unless you're in Club Fed. Well, that's the whole point. People that are in Club Fed, they're there because they're wealthy. And this was over $40. $40. Okay. Anyway. That's all the stories I have for you today. Thank you for going around the nation with me today. I'm going to read, let's see, how many super chats today that I could see of. So, Hunger Games 1989 just says,
We have to keep our country gay.
We got to make America gay again. True. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Thank you all again. Please like and share the stream. Please subscribe. Do all that wonderful stuff if you like the kind of content that we do here and all that stuff. With that, see you back here tomorrow, same time, same place. And remember, change begins with you. Good night, everybody. Oh, one more. A Real House Cat says, ever wonder if prison exists to give sadism? Now, I think prison basically exists because there are certain people that just want to punish other people. And I don't think that's quite the reason for, or quite accurate to call it sadism. But anyway, that said, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the question. We'll see you all here tomorrow. Love you all. And remember, change. Night Nation.
I will eat your ass. I'm sick of all these witches and warlocks. It is an alien force, not of this world. It's not human intelligence.
Stop with the questions. Celebrate.
You're kicking me out the door. You're kicking me out the door.
Disappointed.